So my current favorite stock is Square. I am obsessed with Square right now. It's been, not to belabor the point, but it's been a long road here with the illness, and I really haven't been able to do much investing practice for way too long at this point. And so coming back over the last really I would say month, maybe 6 weeks, has been kind of a cool rediscovery of my investing practice. And I've been really learning how to deepen it and how to pick out the points that really make me able to push forward when I'm tired and when I'm not really feeling up to it. And frankly, when my brain is not up to it because of the brain fog, how can I still kind of touch my investing practice? And what that's led me to is just reading about interesting stuff. And what I'm finding to be fascinated by is, where is our world going and how are we going to purchase things? And what is it going to look like in our towns and our cities? And that's obviously a huge concept, but one of the companies that I have been looking at for a while and am now reading about even more is Square, because what Square does, and this is why I think they're so cool, is their concept is payments, but omni-channel payments. So not only are they person-to-person payments, they are also merchant and seller payments. So they have these two sides, and their whole concept is that everything should work together. And I don't know any other company that does it like that. I mean, you have Shopify online, which they're excellent at that, and they're leading the category. Square also has online, of course. But Shopify doesn't have the entire seller side, the entire in-person experience side, and the peer-to-peer side. And then you've got PayPal and Venmo, and they've got the whole person-to-person sending money thing, but they don't have the in-person merchants experience. And Square really is trying to position itself as they do it all, and it just works. So if you're somebody who sells bagels in your shop and you use a Square payment terminal, you then can go out and sell those bagels at the farmer's market and bring your portable Square terminal, which you guys all remember. Square used to be, the way they came out was that little literal square credit card swiper that you could plug into your phone. That's how they started. And then if, they want to sell bagels to their friend down the street who just said hey, do you have any extra bagels? They can just do it through the Cash App really easily. They don't even need their seller merchant system. So that's the idea. And I don't know if it's going to be, the greatest thing that ever happened to payments, but I think that they're trying to be. And I love the innovation of it. I love where they're going with their company. Their mission is literally on the front of their website, on the top of their annual reports. Their mission is economic empowerment for everyone. And I can't think of a better mission. It's one that I feel we do here on the podcast and in our work. And I'm loving them. What do you think, Dad?
I think Jim McKelvey, I always mess up his name. Jim McKelvey is, first and foremost, a tremendous person. Right. And I love investing with really good people, man.
Exactly.
Because at the end of the day, a lot of what happens with your investment, particularly back in the old venture capital days I did when you were a little kid, is categorized or is characterized by you're betting on the rider, not the horse. And you've seen that too in your practice, right?
Yeah, that's my whole concept.
It's so important to have great people. Particularly when you're a values type of investor, right? Which is you want to buy things and support things that are going to be great 20 years from now and make the world better. Mm-hmm. So first off, big shout out to Jim. He's a fabulous guy.
He was also on our podcast, and you guys, if you missed that, go back and listen because frankly, it was a great interview.
Super good guy. I mean, I know him personally and I know his wife personally, and his book Innovation Stack is just brilliant on how
it's really good
innovation. I can't say a bad thing about Square. I really love the company. I love their mission, and they live it. They walk it. They walk their talk. So fantastic. So it's one of these companies that is going to, did change the world dramatically by empowering the little guy who's got a business that's, making $5,000 a year, who couldn't get a credit card machine.
Exactly.
So
and do you know what they're doing now? Like the coolest stuff with the COVID situation and all the lockdowns, they're making it so that people who are really struggling to have access to cash, access to their paychecks, they're behind on their bills. They just instituted a system where they have this Cash App, which is like Venmo, and then they have their seller ecosystem. And they made it so that somebody who's an employer can pay people through the Cash App so that they have next day availability to their paychecks. And it's just so much faster. And for people who don't have access to traditional banking, who can't get a bank account, this is life-changing. They can get direct deposit into the Cash App from the seller ecosystem. Like they are walking their talk of economic empowerment. And I just love it. And I wish them so much success, whether or not I'm an investor or not. I wish them so much success on all of these innovations that they've created to respond to this situation.
Cool. Yeah, okay, so the downside here is what? What's your inversion here real quick?
I think the downside is they're a little too much of everything, and there are other companies that are winning in the various spaces. So they may just, I don't think this is going to happen, but you could see a situation where they just get beaten. They just fade away, and people don't care that you can talk to each other between the different situations. It doesn't matter. It works fine to go from, PayPal to Shopify, whatever. And they just don't need it. I think that's the inversion. I think the other part of it is they have been raising tons of money. They're not profitable. They have a lot of revenue, but because they're spending so much on growing their business, they're not profitable. They could be if they didn't spend so much, but
it's a kind of Amazon.
It's totally a growth Amazon,
Alibaba, JD. They've all done
It's not a company that has 10 years of great net income.
Right.
No. So those are the two big worries.
I'd basically say you're 100% right, and that I would just call it, I don't know where they're going to be in 10 years. I don't know if they're going to be bigger or gone. I don't think they're going to be gone.
I do. Yeah. I don't think they're going to be gone.
Chance. It's not crazy. In other words, I don't want to put money in stuff that I could have a permanent loss of capital. So I always like to try to look out and say, okay, are they going to be around in this size or so in 10 years? I would say good chance here, but always when you're dealing with companies that are changing the world, you're dealing with that problem. Creative destruction is a tough in that industry.
You got to be up for going on the ride. And as I said about a different company a while ago, I wasn't up for that ride. I'm up for this ride. I'm into it. I love it. I want to support them. I'm into going on the roller coaster.
So mine are so much easier. I have just basic companies that are sort of on the retail side of things. But
just
they're
one,
really
just one.
Special.
Aurora just wanted one.
Right on. So now, first off, I can't tell you companies that are my favorites that I'm still buying and will want to continue to buy for all kinds of reasons, regulatory and pure self-interest. Because obviously, if thousands of you go out and start buying this company, as you can see by what's going on with Robinhood and God, what's the name of that? GameStop.
Oh, yeah.
Where thousands of you guys with not necessarily a ton of money are just blowing that stock up and down like crazy. So there's a certain vested interest of investors like me that want the stock price to go down to not disclose it, not to mention I've got regulatory issues here with that disclosure. So with that in mind, I will say I'm going to give you my favorite company that I'm no longer buying, but would buy again if it drops like a brick, which is Ulta. You guys, if you enjoyed this video and you feel it was valuable in teaching you more about how to invest, hit the like button and please share the video with your friends. And if you want more investing content, subscribe to my channel. And don't forget to click the button on the screen. We got a free gift for you. Thanks again for watching.